is, I think, something much more terrifying. It's the way to render you impotent. Literally, this is clinically true. Psychoanalytic friends are telling me. The problem is not the father who is moderately oppressive. That's wonderful. A moderately oppressive father gives you the space to resist. It is. The problem is, and my God, I will now do something obscene. I will admit that I had this experience with my father. The problem, when I returned from high school, my father told me, "Where are the girls? Are you a man? Did you do it?" And then he said, my father, the most horrible thing, "Is it that you cannot do it? Do you need my advice or what?" Absolute nightmare or whatever. Okay, this incidentally is also why I'm horrified by today's attitude towards sex and other pleasures, which is more and more not what I'm tempted to call an authentic consumerism, which would be smoke, take drugs, orgies to the end, but this kind of a reasonable hedonism. You know, do it, but in a proper way, in a healthy way, don't go too far, and so on and so on. Like, when I flew 2 months ago across the Atlantic, I found in Hemispheres, the Journal of United Airlines, one of the most depressing texts that I can imagine. It was celebrating sex, but you know in what way? Like, sex is healthy. They claimed if you make love often, love is good for your heart, for blood circulation, it's good for your muscles. Then even it becomes so obscene at the end that the text says even kissing, deep French kissing, it's very good, it keeps the muscles strong, so when you will be old, the saliva will not be dropping for it. It's nightmare, this type of stuff. So, okay, let me go on here. What I am saying here, and here I locate myself into the Judeo-Christian tradition now, no? What I'm saying is that this is now referring to these sacred experiences of like Project X, of this collective, transgressive, orgiastic violence, whatever. The deepest insight already in Jewish tradition is that this is what Lacan would have put it, the living God, the God of the real, which is extremely, this experience of sacred as this kind of a pagan, total violence, sacred orgy. This is what the Jewish tradition tries to keep at a certain distance, no? Which is why Jewish God, in a way, is a dead God. Here I agree, although otherwise I'm very opposed to him, with Emmanuel Levinas, who says somewhere something pretty surprising and shocking. He says that the ultimate addressee of the biblical commandment, "Don't kill," is God himself. You know, in other words, the whole of Judaism should be read as a temptation to not to come too close to God, or not to allow God to come too close for us. And Levinas provides, because then it's murderous violence. For example, you know, it's from Exodus 4:24 to 26, the scene which grounds circumcision. Remember how brutally violent Moses is in a tent with his wife, and simply God, as an anonymous dark stranger, enters and wants to kill Moses. And then the wife of Moses quickly cuts the skin of the son to protect her. But this idea that when God comes too close, it's brutality. Which is why I think, in what sense do I mean this? One of the common places with which I totally disagree is that Auschwitz means the death of God. Like, you know, the usual logic. How could God have allowed something like this to happen? But I claim, here I agree with Habermas, who says somewhere that it's much more ambiguous when you have a truly terrifying event like Auschwitz, and we can give other examples, of course. from Congo to Gulag or whatever. There is something obscene in claiming, oh, this is just human evil, human causality. The evil is so terrifying that we cannot but call it divine, and divine here means simply the excessive, sublime strength of it. So in other words, I don't agree with a famous book, I forgot the author, of on Holocaust, where the title of the book is God Died in Auschwitz. No, I claim, God, but God of the real, this murderous, absolutely destroying God, he came alive in Auschwitz. And the problem is how to keep this God at a distance. Here, Judaism has a wonderful solution. I quoted it a couple of times, I hope you know it. There are, in Babylonian Talmud and in some other parts, there is a story which is repeated a couple of times, which is, I think, an absolutely wonderful theological story. It will sound as a joke, but I checked with my Jewish friends. This is Talmud, sacred text. It's basically referring to one of your compatriots, Marshall McLuhan. It's the Marshall McLuhan moment in any hall. You remember? Two guys, Woody Allen and another, fighting about McLuhan's theory, and then what all of us dream happens. McLuhan comes and says to Woody Allen, you are right, that guy is totally idiot. It's literally the same scene. To distinguish, this is the story from Talmud, to distinguish rabbis debate a theological point. And the one who is losing the debate says, wait a minute, let's call Jehovah God to come and decide. And Jehovah comes. Old man comes there, and then the other, the winning in the debate, Rabbi, starts to shout, and God, basically, he tells God, you did your job. You didn't do a very good job. The universe is not perfect, but you did your job. Now your time is out. Leave us intelligent people to debate what you did. You don't have anything to say here, and that's the beauty. That God's reaction is, oh my God, you are right, and God runs away.
A minigun?
I know this story is often used in a not proper way, signaling
My God,
that